Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf, and today we're going to be shock horror talking about the health benefits of incorporating matcha and tea drinking in general into your daily life. We are in January after all when I'm filming this, and it's always a good time to regroup and think about our health. But it's sort of an unwritten rule in the specialty tea world not to sell tea on the basis of health for fear of being accused of selling miracle cures based on limited evidence. And I absolutely think that there are, of course, a multitude of other reasons for you to drink tea aside from the health benefits, such as the enjoyment of the taste and the aroma, the cultivation of a practice which promotes presence and stronger relationships, the feel-good, mood-enhancing effects of this unique drink, the geeky beauty of brewing and all of the teaware. The list goes on and on. However, I do think that not talking about the plainly obvious health benefits of tea does a disservice to you and tea culture in general. Of course, we want to base our discussions on good evidence, and I'll be including a load of links to relevant studies in the description below for you to explore. It is also important to say that everyone is different and we can't make specific health promises, but there is absolutely no doubt that drinking tea is one of the most healthy daily practices that you can easily and enjoyably incorporate into your life. So today, I just want to scratch the surface of the health benefits of tea, and specifically matcha, which is one of the most potent forms of tea because of its growing style, because it's shaded, and because it is ground into a powder, so you're actually ingesting all of that good stuff as opposed to just extracting it in water. So while most of what I am talking about today refers to all tea drinking, matcha is our main focus of attention. Before we get started, I want to introduce you to our new matcha swaddle tea set here. We've called it a swaddle tea set because there's a bag, as you'll see in here, which sort of hugs all of the teaware together, but it's also a hug for you every morning or every time you make this decision to make yourself a matcha. You can see the artwork here by Celine and pictures. I'm not going to dwell too much on it, descriptions, etc. Let's open this up so you can take a look. Inside we've got a leaflet explaining how to make the perfect matcha, how to make the perfect koicha, and if you want, also how to make milky matchas as well, and a whole load of information about matcha. And inside here, put this to the side, is our swaddle bag. So you can see a lovely, soft, cushioned swaddle bag that just hugs all of the teaware together. So you can bring this out whenever you want. Just take it, from your shelf whenever you want to treat yourself to a matcha. You can also use this bag, I have to say, to store other teaware if you wanted to go traveling as well. Inside, you've got your chashaku for measuring out your matcha. You've got an 80-prong chasen, a whisk, bamboo whisk. You've got inside this here, this other little bag, you've got your black bowl chasen, which I love this bowl. It's just the perfect size, and I love the color to really show off the matcha. And of course, you've got a tin of our ceremonial matcha. This is our Uji Hikari and Tenmiyu matcha from Uji. If you want to know more about us sourcing matcha, the different cultivars of matcha, then go check out videos. I'll put a load of matcha videos in the description below, all sorts of videos about sourcing, how to make matcha, how to perfect your matcha, and also little recipes as well for you. But this is a ceremonial grade Uji Hikari and Tenmiyu, that's the cross cultivars, Uji Hikari and Tenmiyu blend, and this is from spring 2021. I'm going to put this bag aside. I'm going to pull all this out. So this is what's in the set. The bag, as I said, you can use this. It's really lovely and padded. You can use this to carry around teaware. So if you want to go out and have a gong fu session, or you want to drink tea, then you can also put other teaware in here. It's a lovely, lovely bag for that. Right, we're going to start talking about the bioactive compounds in tea whilst I make myself a matcha. Let me just close this box up. Right. I have 80-degree water here, so that's fine for me. I'm going to open this up, take out this matcha. Right. Let's get a couple of scoops of this vibrant goodness in the bowl, and it's so easy to make matcha. It really is. Anybody who tells you differently, or you think it's some sort of very, very difficult thing to do. Maybe you've seen some of those matcha ceremonies and you think, oh God, that's too ceremonial, I can't do it. It's so easy to make a matcha, and as you'll see, it is incredibly good for you. I'm just going to put a little splash of water in here, just so that I can make a nice paste. I don't sift the matcha. I know a lot of people say you need to, but I don't, so I don't think it's absolutely necessary for you to do that. And I'm sure there are people that are screaming at the screen right now and saying, no, 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 no. This is how it's meant to be. Right, now I'm going to guesstimate the amount of water. As I said, all of the instructions are in the swaddle set. I'm not going to be pushing too hard down on the whisk, on the chasen. You don't want to be sort of bending it too much, but you just want it to be lightly brushing the bottom and then moving up. Excuse me for my vibrating voice. Okay, there we go. Cheers, everybody. And that is how easy it is to make such a smooth, umami, brothy, yet sweet matcha tea. Okay, so let's talk about the bioactive compounds in matcha. Let's start with polyphenols. Matcha is high in a type of polyphenol called catechins. These are often talked about as antioxidants, but it may be more accurate to say that they have an antioxidant effect. In fact, recent studies have controversially suggested that the catechins may be pro-oxidant temporarily in order to stimulate endogenous antioxidant response. In other words, it sort of stimulates your body to produce natural antioxidants like superoxide dismutase. Next in line is my personal favorite, theanine. This is an amino acid which is remarkable at calming and focusing the mind and stimulating alpha brainwave activity, that state of alert relaxation achieved through meditation. Theanine also boosts dopamine for a feel-good sensation. So theanine makes you happy, calm, alert, the perfect state for optimal performance. Inside matcha is also caffeine, of course. This works synergistically with theanine to add energy without the jitters. Now, caffeine is not some evil compound as long as it is consumed responsibly. It is actually an antioxidant in itself with some neuroprotective effects. But of course, tread carefully and see how you react to the caffeine, and then change your dose of matcha accordingly. You know yourself, and you are the best judge on how much is too much. Inside matcha and tea is quercetin. This is another flavonoid which has potent antioxidant effects and can also have an effect on your sugar levels by reducing blood glucose and improving insulin sensitivity. Matcha is also high in, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, either rutin or rutin, which is a plant pigment which is an antioxidant, again, and an anti-inflammatory, and enhances the effects of vitamin C. Rutin has multiple cardiovascular protective effects. Speaking of vitamins, matcha contains many vitamins, including vitamin C, K, A, E, and B, with all of their own micronutritional health benefits. Matcha also contains an array of phenolic acids, which are, you guessed it, antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, with neuroprotective effects. Finally, let's talk about chlorophyll, that green pigment that makes matcha so vibrant. The pigment is produced by the plant for photosynthesis, but because tencha, which are the leaves to make matcha, are shaded from the sun, the plant has to boost chlorophyll to make use of the little sunlight that it is receiving. Chlorophyll is yet another antioxidant with anti-inflammatory properties. There are other bioactive compounds in matcha, but we would be here all day if we tried to go through all of them. So instead, let's try to dive into some of the main claims around matcha and see what evidence there is out there to support those claims. Let's start with a big one, anti-cancer. Okay, this is a big one, and one that is practically illegal to discuss, actually. However, can matcha help to prevent and inhibit cancer? Well, there have been a multitude of papers written about tea and cancer prevention, and the evidence is clear that tea does have an anti-cancer effect. The extent of the effect depends on many things, from the individual to the tea regimen to the type of cancer, but just as an example, a few studies to pick out. A study of 400 men showed that regular tea drinking reduced the risk of prostate cancer by between 50 and 88%, depending on the amount of tea consumed and for how many years of consumption. That 88% is over 40 years of consumption. Another meta-analysis of green tea and its effect on prostate cancer is more conservative and showed that drinking 15 cups of brewed green tea per day reduced the odds of prostate cancer by about 44%. Now, don't forget that matcha has between 3 to 130 times the amount of catechins compared with green tea, depending on the quality of the green tea that you are comparing it to. So if you brew green tea, it's going to be a lot less catechins compared to ingesting matcha. So one serving of matcha is likely to be equivalent to drinking at least 10 cups of brewed tea in terms of catechin intake. Similar anti-cancer effects have been shown for other cancers. For example, one study of 700 people found that regular green tea consumption reduced the risk of developing stomach cancer by 48%. Another study of over 1,000 Asian women in the US suggests that drinking over 85 ml of green tea, not much, per day, reduced the risk of breast cancer by 47%. I've still got a little bit of matcha in there because I've been waiting. You should really drink matcha, after you've whisked it. Otherwise it will settle again. More large-scale studies are of course needed regarding anti-cancer effects, but it is certainly true to say, and I don't think people should be frightened of saying it, tea certainly possesses some anti-cancer properties. Let's talk about cardiovascular protection. There have been numerous studies showing the association of tea intake and reduced risk of cardiovascular disease. One meta-analysis found that regular tea drinking reduced the chances of having a heart attack by about 11%. And there are numerous other studies that show an improvement in vascular health in tea drinkers and a reduction in LDL cholesterol. Another meta-analysis showed that drinking tea regularly reduced the chances of having a stroke by between 21 and 23%. Let's move on to cognition and neuroprotection. Many components in tea are known to be neuroprotective, in other words, protect your nerves and prevent cognitive decline. One meta-analysis involving 48,000 people in 17 studies showed that drinking green tea was associated with a 29% lower risk of developing cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's. What about metabolic conditions? Can matcha help you lose weight? It is certainly not a miracle weight loss supplement. The evidence suggests that it can contribute to a slight increase in fat oxidation during exercise, and it certainly may be able to help to control weight through its effects on carbohydrate metabolism and by enhancing insulin sensitivity. Matcha may be a great drink for pre-diabetic and diabetics to control sugar levels, and it has been shown to offer protection against liver and kidney damage in diabetics. Again, I'll put links to studies below. Matcha has anecdotally been used by many people to enhance exercise performance, but I could not find any studies to show that myself. Let me quickly finish this off before it settles again. Okay, what about anti-stress? A lot of people drink matcha and tea to reduce stress, and there are plenty of studies which demonstrate the anti-stress effects of tea and matcha on poor old stressed out mice. So a lot of animal studies. Unsurprisingly, the most effective matcha in these studies for stress relief had the highest theanine levels, which is another reason why you want to try and find matcha with high theanine content. So very high quality matcha will have an umami savory taste. A cute little study of 36 people found that daily consumption of matcha cookies reduced the stress marker salivary alpha amylase. So there are a few human studies out there, but anecdotally tea has been used for thousands of years to decrease stress. Tea is also antiviral. Tea, and especially EGCG, which is one of the main catechins in matcha, has been shown to be antiviral and antibacterial. There are many studies showing the antiviral effects of catechins on HIV, hepatitis B, influenza, herpes simplex, and more recently SARS-CoV-2. Tea is also anti-inflammatory. And this is a much broader discussion of the general anti-inflammatory nature of tea and the inflammatory nature of many diseases. There are many diseases associated with the inflammatory response, from IBS to cardiovascular disease, from Alzheimer's to arthritis. You would expect, therefore, that eating and drinking anti-inflammatory foods would have an overall beneficial effect on the body, although I did not find any specific studies that dealt with such a broad spectrum of diseases. So there you go, a quick snapshot of just some of the health benefits of tea and regular matcha drinking. This is genuinely only scratching the surface, and I encourage you to check out some of the studies which I've included below and do your own research in tea and its health benefits. Of course, matcha should not be gulped down like a health shot, but enjoyed as a delicious, luxurious drink. But it doesn't hurt to know that such a delicious ritual can only improve your long-term health. If you want to check out other videos, as I said, about how to make the best matcha, or watch us sourcing matcha in Japan, or watch some delicious recipes with matcha, then I'll put a load of links in the description below. So there you go. I hope that you all incorporate more tea drinking into your daily life. I have to say, a lot of the studies that I read show a linear relationship between the amount that you drink and the health benefits. In other words, the more you drink and for a longer period of time, the better the health benefits that were seen in these studies. But of course, there's an upper limit. You need to monitor yourself, especially with matcha, because it is relatively high in caffeine. So you know yourself best. Find your limits. Find where the right sweet spot is for you. I like to drink matcha in the morning, and this swaddle set will become my little hug, my little ritual every morning. Break it out and just give myself that healthy and delicious start to the day. That's it, tea heads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the good stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.